Good afternoon, everybody. If you don't know who I am by now, I maybe should keep you guessing, but it's me, Mitch, here yet again. I saw a funny comment a few seconds ago. It said, "Here's Mitch with another rare live stream appearance." Yeah. I love these things. I love these things, and I especially enjoy those morning streams. But every morning for an hour is a lot of live streaming, and then to follow it up with other live streams, I keep thinking about how to rearrange things, which I don't think I'll ever settle into anything because I constantly read the cues of what do people like, when do they show up, when don't they, when do they watch, what don't they watch, and there's no rhyme or reason to half of it. Maybe because everything changes. Ellen's not here with me again this afternoon. She's still under the weather, but I'm happy to report that I don't think it's anything more than a cold and sore throat. And she was up all night. So I think she's going to be sleeping most of today. And I miss her, but I think you guys miss her even more. I've noticed the almost complete lack of a pre-show chat that usually goes on for hours. And I think Ellen is kind of the steward of that. So we all miss her. We all miss her. And hope it's not COVID or something like that. But whatever it is, she's a healthy young woman. She'll get over it. She better get over it. So I'm playing solo today. I've been giving it a lot of thought, these Saturday afternoon streams. They haven't, of all the streams I do, this one, even though I did it primarily so people in Europe could come in, and we do get a lot of people from overseas come in, the attendance, number of views and number of viewers I get on this, and it's 2 hours, and it's right smack in the middle of Saturday afternoon when everybody has things to do. I want to cut it back to an hour. I think an hour of me is enough, especially if you've had an hour of me already today. I think that's plenty. But I want to cut this back to an hour and see if that makes it any better. Maybe I'll move it an hour earlier. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll just not do it at all because, like that comment said or intimated, my live streams are hardly ever rare. And God, there's just only so much you can talk about in a lifestyle that is the simplest lifestyle on the planet Earth, and that's carnivore. So we're going to cut it after an hour today. I had even thought, and I share a lot of my YouTube planning with you guys. I share everything with you. I share my unhappiness with YouTube. I've actually talked about Rumble a lot. And I do all that knowing that every word that I say, either on a live stream or in a video that I record, is instantly transcribed and searched word for word by these algorithms that all these big tech platforms have, looking for keywords. I think maybe the fact that I talk about Rumble is causing them to shadow ban me or even more because my views just keep going down, my subscribers keep going away. It's as though there's a concerted effort to get rid of me or not help me at the very least. And I'm okay with that. And I honestly don't care what happens to me on YouTube or what they do to me. I know that unless I can figure out something that maybe I'm doing wrong, and there's a few of those things too, but certainly not to knock me down from the kind of traffic that I used to get to what I get now. I put up a video a few hours ago. Its view count is in the hundreds, when it used to be in the thousands and thousands and thousands in the first 2 or 3 hours. Not anymore. I've got a core group of followers who always show up, and that's you guys. Got 56 of you here now. 56. When I first started this Saturday live stream, I was getting in the upper hundreds and even 200 and some viewers. So I'm down right now to about a fourth of that. I guess people get tired of it. People come in for the novelty of something new. Whatever the reason, I'm really beginning to feel that, and it's not a conscious thing. It's all pre-programmed. They have all of this stuff pre-programmed. Say the X word or the R word so many times, and they change another little multiplier in how many impressions your video gets in front of new people. And I know that mine's been going down. I can see the numbers. I look at the charts. I see the graphs going down and down and down and down and down. And I say, Mitch, they tell you you're saving their lives. They tell you that you're the smartest guy in the space. They tell you all these things. And yet, and in our world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And YouTube doesn't want to know me, it seems, anymore. And if I have to abandon them and just go on Rumble with a few hundred people who know I'm there, I'll do that rather than kiss their ass and become a standard YouTuber with a baseball cap on backwards. Sup, YouTubers? What's up? Click that like button and subscribe. I can't do that. That's not me. That's young kids looking to be stars. I'm not looking to be a star, my friends. Don't want to be a star. I want to try to be a voice of sanity and reason and reality in a world that everything is complete bullshit. So you can understand. When I see 50 people here, when I saw no pre-chat, and I said to myself, well, give yourself the benefit of the doubt, Mitch. They don't hate you. It's Saturday, the beginning of the holiday season, 2 months of absurdity, 2 months of every excuse for some kind of sale you can imagine. For God's sakes, they're already having pre-Black Friday sales, and that's 2 or 3 weeks away. It's nuts. It's nuts. So I don't want to compete with that. I'm going to probably be putting out fewer videos. I'm going to do my Tuesday night live stream and my Thursday night private community live stream. I'm going to continue to do the morning live streams. The Saturday, I'm going to cut it back, and maybe next week I'll decide it's not worth doing, and I'll take a Saturday off occasionally, because I haven't had a day off, not a single day off, in over a year. And I don't mind doing that if I see something in return for it. But and I don't mean to make this a big downer, but I almost canceled this live stream this afternoon. That's the kind of mood I've been in since I've watched and looked at numbers and everything else that we have to go through today. So I hope you all understand what it might be like to be doing what I'm doing, and how emotional, what a toll it takes on you, and how the disappointments just add up and add up and add up, because they're things you can't control. And you try to do it right. You try to do what these people suggest. They all tell you how to get hundreds of millions of views and make Ferrari money, and old farts my age, I guess, talking to what has to be one of the most narrow audiences of people in the world, those people that only eat meat. I'm amazed it did as well as it did for as long as it did. And I hope that without that same type of algorithm on Rumble or X, getting to platforms that honor freedom of speech, don't buy into the bullshit, don't take money from those tech companies and drug companies and pharmaceutical companies and food companies and agriculture companies in the form of advertising. Let us say what we want to say. Let us believe what we want to believe. And let us practice what we want to practice without thinking that they have to save the rest of the world from this so-called radical message, dangerous message that we're putting out. Anyway, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Again, you're looking at one of the few guys that doesn't hide shit. Whatever's on my mind is going to come out of my mouth, whether it's positive, negative, and I try to stay positive. And I was very happy this morning, in a great mood, until I got to work today, trying to put out a video and looking at my analytics and earnings and all that stuff. And then you just have to say sometimes, why do I even bother? I could make more money working at McDonald's flipping hamburgers than I make on YouTube. Those of you who support me, buy me a coffee, throw me a super chat, maybe buy a t-shirt or maybe one of my new coffee mugs once in a while. That's my income primarily from this. Even Amazon, I'm so pissed off at them. Yeah, they still pay me a little bit of money, but if one of these days, and not today, I don't want to get into it, I'll tell you what it's like trying to represent Amazon, and it's never good enough for them. And they're always giving you quotas, and they give you little bonuses with those quotas. And they keep raising them every month. Well, last month you did so much, so next month we won't give you a bonus unless you do twice that. They got my friggin' bonus up now before I get a bonus, and that's what you need from Amazon to actually make any money. It's the bonuses you make money on, not the actual few cents they pay in commissions. They got the bonus up so high that I would have to just ditch talking about carnivore completely. I would have to change the name of my channel. I'd have to do a 24/7 live stream entitled The 100 Best Things to Buy on Amazon Today, and turn it into a home shopping club to even come close to that quota that they put on me. They now expect me to bring in $200,000 a month in gross revenues into Amazon. $200,000 they expect. That's where my bonuses start, at that level. Yeah, the bonus would be healthy. But I'll generate I don't think I've generated $200,000 for Amazon in the 6 years I've had this associated account. They expect me to do that every month. So what they've done to me is they say, well, Mitch, we see that some of your viewers buy the stuff that you're steering them towards on Amazon. So we're going to we're going to demand more and more and more and more from you until we find the point where you can't earn any more money. And they set these quotas every 3 months. So maybe when they see that I don't do $10,000 of gross revenue in a month, not 200,000, when I don't even do, it takes a lot of bacon grease catchers and $20 frying pans to bring in almost $250,000 in gross revenue to Amazon. I am not happy with Amazon. I still mention it once in a while, and if I do see a really good deal, I'll put a community chat out there. But my days of being a whore for that pimp Amazon are over. People, they don't treat people with respect. They beat the shit out of them until all the shit is gone, and then they discard them. That's corporate America, especially somebody like Jeff Bezos and his company. So, sorry, Amazon. I'm not in love with you anymore. Still buy from you because, unfortunately, you're the only place I can get some things. I'll still refer some people to you, and you'll still pay me a little bit of money when they buy from you, and that helps. But I am not going to risk being called Billy Mays ever again on this channel. A pitch man, a sellout to Amazon. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. Anyway, I don't know how I got started down this road. Sometimes you just got to rant. Sometimes you look out at the world and the absurdity just piles up on you. I still got about 60 of you in here, so I haven't scared you all away. Maybe scared a few of you away. So let's do this. Let's change the mood. Have a little coffee. Start saying hi to people, because that's enough of that for right now. All that basically started out as an explanation to tell you why these Saturday streams are only going to be an hour, and I may actually stop doing them until next year. because of the fact that weekends are going to become very busy for most people with all the holiday stuff and preparations and shopping and sales. And you know what it's like. You know what it's like. I don't want to compete with that. I want to take a little time off myself. So we had virtually no pre-chat today. There were 3 entries in the pre-chat from early this afternoon, and they disappeared when I logged back in. I know Peter was in there. I forget who else. United Carnivore, I think, was one of them, and somebody else. But what I have here is I have Marvin Malley. How you doing, Marvin? He was in the coffee live stream this morning. Good to see you. And Mike Seeley, United Carnivores here, trucking carnivore, trucking his way across Texas. He'll be in Dallas in a couple of hours. Peter Kruger's here from South Africa. How you doing, Peter? Don Schonger, good to see you again. And Lumpy Dog. Sandy Blythe from North Florida. You're up there with Jerry Voitush. Lori Ribideau is here. How you doing? Yeah, in spite of all the bitching and moaning, sometimes it feels good to just get it out. And I like to keep you up to date on what I'm going through to do this for you. I hope I hope people appreciate it. Jamie Volks, how you doing, Jamie? From northern Minnesota. How's it? I don't think it's really gotten too cold up there yet, has it? Senator McDonald's from Australia, sunny Western Australia. How you doing? 3:56 a.m. Holy cow. What a time difference. That's a big world. Mark Boos is here. Hi, Mark. How you doing? Mark, I think Mark's boarding a cruise ship today. So good to see you. Good to see you. Mike Seeley Sr. is here from right here in sunny Melbourne. And it is sunny and warm. It's in the 80s here today. Bella Vista Farm. Good to see you. The intro music reminds me of the Charlie Brown TV. Yeah, I can't play that music because it's copyrighted. Vince Guaraldi was he recorded that, and you don't hear it other than in authorized and paid for licensed situations. I've got one that's not copyrighted that's very similar to it. It's different enough but I'm still afraid that YouTube will give me a copyright strike on it. So we have to be very careful about the music we use or pay a lot of money to license the music. And the music that I am using is provided free by YouTube right now for us to use. So I know there's absolutely no chance of a strike. It's their music. And who else we got here? Speaking of Jerry Voitush, there he is from Ponte Vedra Beach. Jerry, how you doing? How you doing today? Good to see you, man. You out smoking a cigar on this gorgeous Florida day? Satya's here. Hey, Satya Khalsa, how you doing? Good to see you. And Carnivorous Cat Mom. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Marcia, Chessie's Adventures is here. She's here too, she says. Granny Boo too is also here. And Karen Hunt Cook says, greetings, Mitch. Tammy Patarsh, hiya, Tammy, how you doing? And this is DJ SCRA 89. I don't know if I'm supposed to try to pronounce that DJ Scraw 89 or what, but made it to the stream. Don't like going too long without Mitch and his advice. Well, today you got a lot of bitching, but we'll see if we can't get to some advice. Thanks for coming in. And who else is new? Mark Booz says, yes, I'm on the ship 2 hours and I'm already preaching about addiction. Oh man, you're going to be in trouble on a ship like that. That's got to be the worst place for some addict to try to say, okay, today's the day on this cruise ship surrounded by metric tons of food everywhere I turn around. I'm going to start fighting my addiction. Well, hey, Mark, listen, man, you have a great time on the cruise. Wish I was there, but I'm not. I'm here. Jesse Farmer. Hi, Jesse from College Station, Texas. Good to see you. Eddie Edwards is here. Tells Ellen to get well soon. Grandma Prepper, how you doing? How you doing? And here's what I haven't seen in a while. Lorraine McDermott, how you doing? How you guys? 8 p.m. here in Chile, Hampshire in the UK. Don't say Rumble anymore then. No, I have to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm not going to. I'm like Patrick Henry. Remember him? Give me liberty or give me death. I'm not compromising my principles, my autonomy. I'm not kowtowing to somebody who makes ridiculous rules and censors. The hell with them. I'm making money for them. I've made a lot of money for them since I started this channel. If that's not enough for them to let me say what I want to say, then they can go to hell. And I'll say that openly, and their algorithm can see it till I get down to nothing. And then I'll just go over to Rumble and start over again. But I'm not going to compromise my core beliefs. Not at my age. Maybe if I was a 22-year-old, I figure, well, maybe I better play the game for a while. I played that game all my life. Paid the price for it, too. But that doesn't upset me. I'm still a happy guy. Because I don't have to play their game. Not anymore. Not anymore. I could live just fine without them. Tammy says, I don't even know what Rumble is. I'm not going. Well, you should go to Rumble. Rumble is here I go. They're really going to love this. Rumble is another streaming platform. It's where, like, most of the conservatives that got canceled on YouTube went. It's where Dan Bongino has his show. It's where Steven Crowder has his thing. It's a guaranteed, no censorship, no blocking of the freedom of speech. Dedicated, like Elon Musk is turning X into, dedicated to freedom, and the things that made, and the Constitution and things that made this country great. And I can say whatever I want to say on Rumble. They do have ways to find out who the trolls are, but they're never going to censor somebody for whatever language they use, because if they did that, Joe Rogan would never. They wouldn't allow him. They wouldn't allow him if he didn't bring YouTube so much money. He would have been gone. Remember, YouTube canceled Donald Trump's account. They just deleted his account. He started his own, but Rumble is where it's going to be for free speech. And if that's where it's got to be, no, I'm not going to give up YouTube. Steven Crowder still has a YouTube presence, but what's really funny is when you watch his morning show, which is great, by the way, on YouTube, Louder with Crowder. When you watch his morning show on YouTube, every once in a while, some elevator music plays, the screen goes black, and a graphic comes up that says, not suitable for YouTube, tune into Rumble. So whenever they say anything that they think YouTube would censor or possibly strike them or want to delete their channel again, they cut the YouTube feed off and play this please wait message. But if you're on Rumble with them, you hear everything. There's no restrictions. They say whatever they want. And most of the time, whatever they've said that they thought YouTube might not like is just something politically incorrect. It's nothing horrible. But YouTube thinks they've gone too far sometimes. And they demonetized Crowder a long time ago. He doesn't make a cent for everything. He just puts it out there on YouTube. He's not paid for that. They demonetized him, but they still let him. Still let him run his stream, attract all those people, and then run their ads and keep all the money for themselves. This is Google. This is who we're dealing with. And I'm a rebel, I guess. Call me a rebel. And you guys are all rebels too, because God, how we all fight against the message, don't we? Don't we fight against the message with our lifestyle and diet advice? Don't they try to shut us up every turn of the way? Don't they try to make us look like fools and laugh at us? It's the same thing, same way I feel about the media. Fortunately, there are some media outlets now, like Rumble and like X, social media outlets, where freedom is the reason for it. I want to play there. I want to play in that playground. Hopefully it'll grow a lot bigger than it is to give a bigger potential audience. Right now it's not there. So we're stuck with YouTube. Kind of like I'm stuck with my cable TV provider. It's the only place I can get internet from Spectrum. I'm stuck with it. I have no alternative. They can keep raising my prices every once a year, and there's nothing I can do because they say, well, get your internet from someone else. And there's no one else, not that has cabling to my neighborhood. But wait till that satellite becomes viable. Wait till Elon gets enough Starlink satellites. I don't care if I have to pay twice as much for the service every month. I'll do it. I'll do it just to spite those people that are monopolies and keep you and hold you hostage and charge retired people close to $100 a month for just internet access. I don't have any subscriptions. I have no cable TV, no boxes, no nothing. Just one little modem hooked to the cable to get my internet service. $100 a month. And they advertise every day. Switch to Spectrum. For $39 a month, you can have high-speed internet, guaranteed, price guarantee for 2 years. Yeah, before they raise it to, used to be a year. What they don't tell you in the ads is you got to sign up for $250 a month worth of TV services, cable TV service, telephone service, wireless phone service, and everything else. But they'll give you the internet for $39 a month. And then if you call them and you're already a customer, well, I'm sorry, sir, that's just for new customers. Yet again, just fraud, misleading advertising, clickbait, and everything else. That's the world we live in. The older I get, the more tired of it I get, and the less and less I want to play in any of these games at all. But I'm in a great mood today. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm thirsty. Excuse me a second. But everything I'm talking about, my friends, is just a reality, and it's not just me. You all experience it every time you try to deal with some of these businesses, some of these medical places, some of these plumbers and contractors that never do a good job and charge you way too much money. We all get ripped off every day, and some of us just get tired. I keep thinking about the movie Network. Remember? I forget the character's name, but he was the older guy, and he ran to the window and he threw the window open in New York, and he starts screaming out to everybody that, in earshot. He says, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore." And then everybody started screaming, "I'm mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore." Well, that's how I feel sometimes. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm still saying hi to people. I'm looking for, here's Lat. How you doing, Lat? How you doing? And I haven't scared everybody away yet. And I want to start looking over the chat real quick. And if you got a question for me, there's one. Lori's Carnivore Story says, Mitch, do you have any more photos of people's before and after? Yes, I do. And I have them in a folder on my Gmail. And I keep saying I'm going to start featuring these people. And somehow we never get around to it. But I will keep that in mind. And I have, I think, 2 or 3 kind of hanging back. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll start doing that. Maybe I'll take 5 minutes in some of the morning things and do that. But no, thanks for reminding me, Lori. Lat says, hi, this just popped in my YouTube. I found myself unexpectedly transformed to Mitch World. Is that like Wally World? Hi, everyone. It's 8 p.m. in the UK. Great. Lat, good to see you. Glad you made it in from across the pond. Tammy Pitar's got a question. Old Guy Carnivore, do you take naps? Not daily, but ever? No, never, ever, never. Sometimes if I've had a stressful day or I'm tired, I will nod off if I'm kind of laying on the couch watching TV, but never for more than 5 or 10 minutes. So I guess that qualifies as a nap. But no, I never have been a napper. Never needed naps. I know people that can't go through a day without their afternoon nap. I had a good friend who happened to be a vegan, by the way, who happens to be dead now, but he couldn't make it through a day. He couldn't make it through a day without an hour or hour and a half in his business. He had in his office, he had a couch, and everybody knew 1:30 in the afternoon, if the door is closed, do not disturb for any reason. He was in there getting his beauty sleep. But no, I never found the need for naps. If anything, I'm the opposite right now. I have too damn much energy. I need to find ways to burn it off. Who we got here? Anybody? Yes, we have. B. Matt says, howdy, B. Matt. How you doing? Good to see you. Peter's here. Hiya, Peter. Papa Carnivore's here. I took that little clip from your question this morning because I thought it would make a great standalone video, and I made a 5-minute video, which was short enough that people should not have been scared of it. And it's performing absolutely horribly, and it's such a great answer. I was so impressed with myself with that answer to the question that you asked me this morning about is carnivore really too restrictive? I thought that's one of the main reasons people are afraid to even start it. And I thought I gave you a great answer. And I said, like Anthony Chafee does that all the time. He'll take a clip from one of his long Q&As where he answered a question that came out real well. Because sometimes answers that come right off the top of your head are the best answers you ever give because you haven't tried to pre-think them too much. Let your brain do the work it can do without your interference. And I seem to be better at that than trying to craft a speech or a message. If somebody asks me a question and I just go off on it, those answers usually come out more cogent and better structured even than something I might spend hours agonizing over. I would never make a good speech writer, for example, but I can give a hell of a speech when I want to. I think that's kind of the way we're supposed to be able to act in any situation spontaneously. But no naps for me. Grandma Prepper, how you doing? Papa Carnivore just finished You and Curry. I didn't see that one yet, Peter. I'll have to watch that. I hope you weren't too hard on Curry. Moto J81 is here. How you doing? Long time no see since this morning. What is this? Saber Truth goes carnivore. There, I haven't seen that one yet. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Glad to see you made it in here. Good to see you. Evgeny, hello. Another new one I don't recognize. And we have David Ellis here. Hi, David. Good to see you. And I'm up to about 20 minutes into the stream, so I'm about 15 minutes behind scrolling down this chat here. And since I have nobody watching out for me to alert me of questions, I have to keep scrolling. I see Cindy Braddock is here. How you doing? And keep looking out for some new names. Sherry Morgan, hiya Sherry. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you as usual. Papa had to come on here and let you know how much I loved your video with Curry. Oh, there you go. You got a fan there, Peter. Of course, we know each other from Thursday night from the private community live streams. So you'll pardon me while I scroll a little bit and see. We don't have a real great. Well, we're up to 77 people now. Polish Mike, how you doing? Polish Mike says, wow, I'm late. Good afternoon, boss. That's okay. We won't dock you. No problem, Mike. I'm sure it's Saturday afternoon. Everybody's got plenty of things to do. Lat's trying to tell me those shortcuts are a slightly different jukebox algorithm. Try putting more out to get on the merry-go-round. Are you talking? Are you the shorts? No, I refuse. I refuse. Sorry, I refuse. I know everybody's jumping on that bandwagon. I don't watch them. I don't want anything to do with them. I want people to slow down and absorb information, not have it piped directly into their five senses with flashing colored words all over the screen, going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, fueling a higher transaction load, impatience, adding to stress, incredibly destructive, and the wrong way to learn anything. Because there's no time to contemplate. There's no time to allow the message to sink in, to question it in your own mind before the next series of spasm-causing, flashing, strobing lights from the next short video come on. Don't like it. Maybe if I was 18 years old or 25 or 30, I could do it. But I can't imagine people my age sitting there all day long on next short, next short, next short, next. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, maybe it'll help my algorithm. Tired of the word algorithm. Oh, Sherry Morgan. Saw a little super chat pop up. Thank you, Sherry. I'm going to scroll down. Oh, there it is right there. We didn't get too far. Papa did an amazing job with his interview with Curry and gave you a big shout out. A great way to represent with grace. Thank you, Peter. Peter's such a great guy. He's always been a great supporter of mine, as you have. When are you going? We need Sherry to interview you. I'd pay to see that one, Sherry. And I'm still on the fence about all that bone marrow stuff. Although people are trying to talk me into it, and I'll probably have to give it a whirl one of these days. But almost a mama bear has got me talked into making a big brisket now. So I'm gonna have to do that too. The amazing thing is, I'm happy with the variety that I have. Honest to God, I'm very happy with it. I don't ever feel like I'm not having something I miss or something that I'd want to have. And I think that's the beauty of this whole thing. And part of the message that I keep trying to give people is don't sweat over never being able to eat this crap again, because you won't want it if you do this right. It's a hard message to get across. It's a hard, you think I'm kidding? It's a hard message to get people to understand how it all ties together. Tina Lander. Do you have meetups in Melbourne? We've had a couple. I thought we were going to have another one the rest of this year. But yes, after the first of the year, we're probably going to arrange to have another one here at the Brazilian Steakhouse in the Melbourne Square Mall. We had a great time there 3-4 weeks ago. Curry, Homestead House showed up. Dr. Kelsey showed up. We had a ball. Then 4 of us guys went over to the local cigar shop afterwards, right down the street, and we sat in that lounge on the recliners all afternoon and talked about carnivore and things and puffed away, and it was a great day. It was one of the better days I've had in quite a while. So, yeah, we are going to have meetups. They're not wildly attended, that's for sure. We only had about 15 people at that meetup. They're complicated and hard to try to put together and arrange. The restaurant's always trying to screw you up, no matter what you do. We had this thing planned a month in advance, and Mike Seeley's a good thing he and his dad went in there for lunch the day before, because they had no recollection of the fact that we were going to be there the next day. So he straightened that out for us. But they did the same thing to us in Tampa. We had it all set up with a big meeting room and everything, and we got there, and no, we don't have you in the meeting room. We're just going to seat you in the restaurant with everybody. It's very hard. It's very hard to get anything get people to do anything that you hire them to do or they commit that they're going to do. It's very frustrating. That's why I become kind of a hermit. I don't even like to venture out into the world anymore, because if I don't, and I don't get my hopes up or expect anything, then I can't be disappointed. And I like living without disappointment. Papa Carnivore, Peter says, I hope I influence other people to try carnivore and heal themselves. Yeah, Peter. That's what we all want. But we all know how frustrating it is trying to spread the word. Most of us have stopped trying in places other than among people that like us. So we all end up preaching to the choir and trying to give the choir better ways to sing better. But to people who aren't in that choir, this message is so foreign it scares them to death. Scares them to death. Mitch, are you going to come out with any new videos on your recipes? Not many, I'm afraid. Not many. That's another thing. I have almost 500 videos out there. I have a bunch of recipes out there already. There's only so many things you can cook on carnivore. So many ways to cook it. Not enough. I didn't start a cooking channel here. That was just something I threw in. And they became popular, and some of my biggest videos with the most views are cooking videos. And the reason is that if the word carnivore doesn't scare them away, everybody cooks. So recipe videos are very popular because they bridge across a broad spectrum of genres. And I got a really great tip for all of you right now. Don't eat a bunch of salty smoked salmon before you do a live stream, because you'll be thirsty as hell the whole time. And this is just plain ice water now, because I knew I was going to be drinking a lot of it, and I didn't want to gulp down all that bubbly stuff. Yeah, I think the next cooking video I'm going to do, now I could repurpose some of my old videos, but that never seems to go over too well. I tried that a couple times. Some YouTube guy on how to succeed on YouTube made a whole video about how many millions of views and Ferrari money you can earn by repurposing your old videos. So I tried that a couple times, and the views weren't any better than what I get on a new one. Not even as much. So I did that the other day. I took my first video, the one that was entitled, I'll Start the Diet Again on Monday. That was way back when I started carnivoring on YouTube. And I thought that was a cool video, walking on the beach. And I made all this. The thing when I watched it again, and I hadn't seen it in a while, that marveled me is I haven't changed my message. I've improved on it. I've fine-tuned it maybe. I've added some understandable explanation, but it's still the same exact message that I discovered a year and a half ago that made me succeed on carnivore, and I haven't changed a bit. I'm not like Saladino who said, okay, now we need to start eating 500 grams of carbs a day, or now we need to do that. Or all these other people that are always trying to change what they're doing. If anything, I keep harping on, just keep it simple, do the same thing. You don't have to make it complicated. That's great, but how many times can you repeat that? You know, there are times when I say, and I don't want to give this up. I love it. I love doing this. I love the feelings I get from it. I say to myself, well, you've done your deal, Mitch. You've said your piece. It's all on the record for anybody that wants to watch. Not much else you can add to it, because as far as I'm concerned, at least for me and somebody my age, I've pretty well fine-tuned this thing to where it doesn't require any changing on a regular basis. Just, I'm happy to do the same thing every day and just keep it simple. Not overthink it. not overmanage it. Let my body do what it needs to do. How many times can I keep doing it? That's why I'm more comfortable doing live streams where I get to interact with you. Because you can come up with some questions about things you don't understand. And those things I can provide maybe insight or an explanation of how I came up with it or why I think it works. And then you can decide whether that makes more sense to you than the other guy who's telling you to eat 500 grams of carbs of fruit and honey a day. That makes me feel more useful than just sitting in the morning saying, well, I should put out a video today. What am I going to do it about? Well, I could cook something. Well, I've already got 5 videos about different ways to cook steak. I've got videos about how to cook different kinds of fish. I've got videos about different kinds of chicken. I've got videos on how to fry stuff and coat it with pork rind. I've got a lot of cooking videos. But that's not the purpose of my show, and I'm not a chef. I'm not a chef. I'm an old man that figured out how to make something that comes out good in the easiest and cheapest possible manner. And that's the only appeal that my quote recipes may have. My recipes are very simple. Take meat, throw it on the fire, take it off the fire and eat it. You know, is that a recipe? I guess it could qualify as a recipe. So in answer to your question, the last question was, I don't think we can expect too many more recipes because they would have to be more complex, more complicated, and with the limited number of potential ingredients we have, there's just only so many ways you can combine 4 or 5 different ingredients and cook them in so many different ways. But I'm going to smoke a brisket, and that'll probably be pretty much like smoking the ribs or anything else that I've smoked, but you know, it'll be something different and be an excuse to make a video and probably become a popular video. Oh, here's one that DJSCRA89, your video from today was just what I needed to hear. That's why I like live streams. Sometimes pearls of wisdom can work their way out. Thank you. Thank you for that little validation of just what I think. Sometimes, and I don't do it very often, sometimes the best little speeches I give come on these live streams. And when you figure that right now there's 68 people here, all of these 68 people are not going to see every minute of this live stream. There'll be some people watch the replays. But I might give the best speech of my life, and if I don't make a standalone video out of it, it may be that 40 or 50 people actually got to hear it. And that's what happens on these live streams. And that's why Chafee makes standalone videos out of so many of him answering questions on his live streams. And I'm going to do that too if I think it's really a cool answer that I think people could hear. And if it can reach a few more ears that way, so be it. So be it. And if people don't like it, that I do that or think that's somehow cheating to put out something that I said earlier, well, sorry. Glad says, I thought today's was a short. No, it seemed like a short compared to my usual video, but it was 5.5 minutes long. It was as long as most Sean Baker. You notice Sean Baker's videos very rarely exceed 5 minutes. He's standing up in his garage in front of all his weights. He talks about something for a minute or two. He's got a staff of people that write these things, that spend their time digging through all social media, looking for something he can comment on. They tell him what to comment about. They show him a couple of graphics. He stands at his gym. He records that on his cell phone. Selfie, like holding it up in front of him, shoots the video to them. They edit it. They create the cover. They put the bouncing words in or whatever graphics, and they post it and do all the interfacing with YouTube. And he goes back to doing push-ups or whatever he's doing in his gym. He spends probably no more than 10 minutes on every one of those things. And he can do that. And more power to him. I can't. I would never get away with that little work to put out a video and having a staff of people to help me. But he's been at this a long time, and he's built quite an organization, and he's a very well-respected doctor. All of those things that I am not. Sorry. So I do the best I can. But no shorts for me. I may put out a shorter video, but a short is traditionally defined as a video. Now they extended them to 3 minutes, but still no more than 1 minute in length in a portrait vertical format. That's what the true definition, like a TikTok video. That's what the true definition. Question, Mitch. Did you know I gave you a major shout out during my video interview with Curry? He just posted today. Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. I gave myself a major shout out with Curry in the 2-hour live stream I did with him last week, too. You know how many subscribers that got me? None. Zero. Not a single one. I think I picked up 10 and lost 20 the next day. So I don't know who's got it in for me, but we had a great time on that live stream. But thank you, Peter. I can listen. I can use all the shout outs I can get. I can get, and I will watch that before the day is out. In fact, when we're done here, I get done eating my second meal of the day, I may just go out, light up a cigar, and sit and watch you and Curry talk. I'm sure it was a great interview, and I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. Welcome to the big time. Let me know when you have a YouTube channel, and I'll plug it for you. How's that? Sherry, oh, that was your first super chat. Peter did I saw Sherry came up with another one. Oh, there's some questions here. Well, let me get that from Sherry first. Sherry, thank you so much, sweetie. Here's a little pocket money to try another grass-fed steak from another store or ranch. P.S. I love your cooking videos. Never get old. Yeah, the last one I did was about that grass-fed thing, and that thing I got from Sam's Club was horrible. But yeah, I probably owe it to the farmers of America to try to find a real ranch-raised, small farm-raised, not something that comes packaged in big box stores like those steaks did. That was terrible. Thank you, Sherry. And Tammy, thank you so much too. Super sticker. Always appreciate it. You are one of my troopers there. Thanks so much, Tammy. And I see some questions. I am seeing some QQQs. Sherry says, what's the second chapter of your video carnivore book coming out? The first episode was amazing. Yeah, that was the introduction. I'm still trying to decide whether to even, I know this is going to disappoint some people, but you're the first person that's asked me that in months since I put out the first one and never followed up. Nobody cared. And I said to myself, if nobody friggin' cares, and has already long forgotten about a project that's going to take me hundreds of hours of intense work and filming and editing to produce, and nobody really cares. And the view count on the first episode was pathetic. Why bother? I said, I'm just going to drop it. I'm going to drop it and see if anybody wonders what happened to it. And Sherry, you're the first. You're the first. Thank you. Thank you for that. It does mean something to me. And I may start devoting more of my attention to projects like that and less of my attentions to juggling, keeping the spinning plates in the air, which is what you have to do sometimes on YouTube just so people don't forget about you entirely, is be there every day. But as long as I still keep getting people into this morning live stream, been doing it for a month now, and everybody's having fun and I'm enjoying it, I intend to make that the cornerstone of my channel. It'll never make me any money other than the coffees that people buy me, but not from revenue from views. I make maybe $4 for maybe 1,000 views that thing will get in its total lifetime between the replays and live. So there's no money in it. There's no chance of it ever going viral or anything. It's an episode. It comes and goes. It's yesterday's news tomorrow. But I love it. I love it. And I think I'm actually doing more good for people on that morning live stream, answering more questions, giving out more valuable information. than I do in so many of the videos where I just, for 20, 30 minutes, try to explain a concept that maybe people are having a hard time understanding or haven't heard elsewhere. So it's a game of experimenting. It's a game of experimenting, and we do that in everything in life. We do that with our dieting too. We'll try a sardine challenge this month and see how that works. And next month we'll try a cheese and taco challenge, and then the next month we'll go back and try beef bacon and eggs, beef butter bacon and eggs again, and then we'll. You can't do that. You can't expect to succeed unless you let yourself settle in to the kind of routine that our ancestors did. And they didn't take any challenges. They had one challenge, and that was every day, find food. Find a big animal to kill and butcher. And if you can't find a big animal, find some grubby carbohydrate things, some sour fruits and berries and some tubers that you can survive on until you can find a big hairy animal, fat animal to kill. They didn't have challenges. Finding food was all the challenge that they needed. And the reason carnivore works so good and why we keep coming up with ways to just get in its way and not let it work is beyond me. I talk till I'm blue in the face trying to make this point. Keep it simple. It will work. Don't try to figure out ways to make it work better. It will work just fine if you just eat the ratio of fat to protein and eat enough of the right foods and don't eat the plants and don't eat the sugars. It will work. It can't help but work. And you can tweak the fat ratios and work on a little variety as long as they're in the same, with the same foods, the same animal-based foods. And that's what I try to tell people how to do. It makes my job a lot more difficult because it's much easier. You have a more assured career when you're a teacher of something very complicated than when you're just trying to tell people, eat meat, see you later. And yet, they keep complicating it is a great excuse to make a video. And that's a problem we have. Everybody wants the clicks. They want videos. They want their channels to grow. They think they need to come up with something that's so unique and so unheard of. And people do congregate to that because everybody is of the opinion these days, because they don't know any better, that they think complicated is better. The more complicated, the better it has to be. Surely it can't be simple. And old Mitch comes along and says, let it happen. Just eat meat and go have a life. And eat when you're hungry and stop eating when you're full. Sleep when you're tired. Drink when you're thirsty. The animals do it. They do just fine. We are animals after all. So I see the question on the screen is still Sherry's. I promise, Sherry, I should. I did start the thing, and I really had high hopes for that as a legacy thing. To be still on YouTube, maybe for a few people to happen upon long after I'm gone. Maybe, not likely, but maybe. Because I know that the message I have works. I know it works because it works on me. I know it works because so many of you have told me it's working for you, and I've seen the results of it. And when you know you're on the right track and you know you're not misleading people, that does drive you. That does drive you. And as much as I rant about the mechanics and the politics of doing YouTube and all that other stuff and how much of an uphill battle it is, my overwhelming sense of trying to get the right message out there, it just dwarfs all the aggravation, and that makes me happy, and you guys make me happy. So I thank you. I always thank you for being for being loyal to this and sticking with me. And you know that you ask anything that I can do for you. And Sherry, I'll do anything I can for you. And because you wrote that, I will bring that project back to the forefront again and start working on the second chapter. So there you go. And anybody says that that was the greatest work that I've ever put out in the later years of my life, I will tell them, thank Sherry Morgan. Not for her. It would have died a death after the first episode. So there you go, Sherry. That's how that's important to me. I appreciate it. Jesse Farmer. Did I thank Tammy? I think I did. Tammy Pitarsh. Let me see. Yeah, $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Tammy. I did thank you. And Jesse Farmer gave me a $10 super chat. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All that stuff is very appreciated. Let me take a quick look and see if anybody happened to buy me a coffee. I always want to acknowledge those. And yes. Lorraine McDermott bought me a coffee. Thank you, Lorraine. Says, take your own advice, have a cup of coffee and a day off to eat meat. Yeah. Thank you, Lorraine. And someone bought me a coffee. Love your shows, Mitch, but they didn't put their name in there. So it's a funny story about that someone. I told you I started getting coffees when I first announced this thing. A lot of people bought me coffees. It was going crazy, and I so appreciated that. But I kept getting a lot of coffees from this person named someone, and I'm saying, holy shit, who is this someone? Hadn't dawned on me that maybe that's what the buy me a coffee people put in when the person who gave the coffee didn't put their actual put a name in there that they wanted to say who it was from. And it finally dawned on me that's what that meant, because it was kind of too much of a coincidence to have 20% of the coffees that you were getting to be from someone. So someone, whoever you are, thank you so much. I see a question from Jerry Voitush there. Hey, Mitch, I asked about your project where you kept trying to steal my lighter. You did. Looking forward to receiving my new coffee mug and another shirt. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. I saw that. I'm also looking forward to getting my coffee mugs. So, because I bought 2 of them. I'm going to give one to Ellen. I bought one of the red ones and one of the blue ones. And I'll ask her which one she wants. And I'll give her that one, and I'll keep the other one. Oh, it's going to be cool. Why not? And I don't remember, Jerry. We were going off in so many different directions, sitting there smoking cigars, me trying to steal your lighter and all. You never would let me get away with it either. So I'm glad to hear that. That some people actually took that seriously. I thought it was going to be a great project. Bodzod is here. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And Polish Mike, I'm with you, my friend. Please don't start on the challenges. This will lead to another short video. Yeah, the challenges. You never see me do any of those stupid things. They never end well. The one challenge you should start on is the challenge you intend to keep up for the rest of your life, with just minor tweaks to it as you learn, as you go along. That's always been my opinion. Oh, Spanky, where you been, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. I'm at work at the cop shop. Oh, how about that? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, we miss you too. Everybody's saying hi. Spanky thinks I rock. Thank you. Everybody loves Spanky. Look at that. Wow. Oh, Bodzod has got a question for me. Mitch, if you randomly had a few million dropped into your bank account, what kind of carnivore-based businesses would you consider starting up? Boy, I know the definition of a hypothetical. A hypothetical question is like in the realm of reality, it could actually happen. When you say to somebody, well, hypothetically, if this and that and the other thing, well, that hypothetically almost implies that it's possible and it could happen. Unfortunately, Bodzod, my friend, your hypothetical is just never going to happen, as well as me winning the lottery. Even though all of us, when we buy a lottery ticket, we start spending the money in our minds because hypothetically, well, somebody's got to win. We could, yeah. But it's a great question. It's a great question because even though I know I will never have a few million dropped into my bank account, except from a computer error at the bank, in which case it'll take them milliseconds to take it right back. What kind of carnivore-based business would you consider starting up? I don't think there's a carnivore-based business model of any kind right now that, with the current climate and nutrition information, has chances of a snowball in hell of actually making a lot of money. The closest thing that I can think of to that would be animal agriculture. But then it's not sustainable family farming, which is something we want to see. We don't want to see more factory farming, but they can make a profit, but not as much profit as the plant-based agriculture business. Which is why it behooves the people in the food business to try to push the plants on us. It's a much more profitable business than selling meat. A carnivore restaurant would be a very, very bad idea. There are almost carnivore restaurants out there that do very well. They're called barbecue joints. They have sides and they have desserts and they have things that aren't carnivore. But unfortunately, they turn their meat into meat candy. They put so much sugar and rubs and sauces and all that other crap, people. I don't even know why they bother to even start with meat. Why don't they just start with styrofoam? And it'll taste the same when they're done because you can't taste the meat. All you taste is the stuff you pour all over it. But yeah, we have barbecue places, but if they didn't sell the sides and they didn't have the barbecue sauce and the rubs and all those things, would they do as well? Be interesting to see. I don't know. Maybe somebody actually started a carnivore restaurant. People have tried vegan restaurants. They never do wildly well. They try them, though. But they usually have to compromise a lot. They have to have other non-vegan dishes. Just like regular restaurants always have to have a token vegetarian dish or two on the menu because God knows whose family member is going to be one of those liberal wacko type, just came off the protest march and just needs that Impossible Burger. You know what I mean? Sometimes after a hard day of protesting, sitting down in traffic in the middle of the street with signs and things, sometimes you just got to have one of those veggie burgers, Those restaurants don't do wildly well either. The restaurants that do wildly well are the restaurants that cater to 99% of the people's taste, which is the standard American diet. Steakhouses do okay. They do okay because we're still a country of meat eaters. No matter what they tell us, people have not given up. That's given up their meat. That's always been one of the good encouraging signs that I see. When I would get a question and people would say to me, "Well, Mitch, do you worry about the fact that people are losing their taste for meat and, eating less and less and less meat every year?" I say, well, when I drive from here to my son's house, I pass I pass an Outback Steakhouse. What's the other steakhouse that I passed? Anyway, another steakhouse chain. And since I'm heading over to his house for dinner, it's always at dinner time. And the parking lots are always full, and the lines are always outside. People are standing and sitting everywhere, and they get as many people in as they can. So, and as long as I keep seeing the lines at the Outback Steakhouses like that, no, people are going to eat meat because that's what they sell there. But they also have bloomin' onions that are fried in seed oil with breading. You know, they also have the side dishes, all of that crap. I wouldn't be surprised if they even seared some of their steaks in seed oil as well. They do what restaurants do. They use the cheapest shit they can buy, and people accept it. People accept it. And they sell a hell of a lot of French fries and potatoes and other things, and desserts, that's for sure. But I don't think it's gone away. I can't think of one. I'm still, while I'm talking and rambling here, I'm still trying to think of what a profitable carnivore-based business might be without actually coming up with an influencer peddled product like the electrolytes, or some of these things that YouTube influencers are selling and making big commissions on that really aren't necessary and aren't that cracked up to be. Because what do we need as carnivores? We need meat. We need eggs. We need some fish, some chicken, some pork. Everything we need can be found in one little corner of the supermarket or one small section of Sam's Club, maybe a little bigger in Costco, but compared to the overall size of the store, tiny little island of stuff. That's all we need. And what else could you sell? What else could you sell in a carnivore store? I guess you could sell books, carnivore recipe books, things like that. But no, if somebody dropped a couple $1,000,000 in my bank account, I wouldn't invest it in a carnivore business. The closest thing, if I was a young man, and a few million wouldn't be enough to do it, I would buy a small ranch. But you'd have to have enough money to run the ranch till it became profitable, and that's an expensive ordeal. You need just in the staff you need to do any volume of cattle, to raise sustainable cattle. The amount of land you'd need, probably the taxes you'd have to pay, would be a fairly large dollar business. And in the current climate against the meat industry, there'd be no help, no subsidies, no incentives, no tax breaks, no nothing. Certainly not the same thing you'd get as a farmer of plants. So, no, it's a great thought. And if any of my loyal listeners feel that life will not go on until they drop a couple $1,000,000 in my bank account, rest assured, if you ask, I will give you that account number. And the expression, don't put your hand on your ass while you're waiting, because it will grow there. Think about that. Comes to mind. Thanks, man. That was a great question. You ask great questions. You do. You ask very interesting, thought-provoking questions. And I love those things. I love questions that make you think and consider different alternatives. At any rate, I said we were going to do this for an hour and 15 minutes. So once I get going, if I got something to do, I'll keep going. Let me go ahead and actually go over here into the other chat that I have and search for any QQQs that might have occurred and see. There's the one about taking naps. Do you have any more photos of people before and after? Yes, I do. I only see those two. Now, I know there were more questions than that. What is the second chapter? Oh, that's Sherry's question. Grandma Prepper said, not a question, but I was wondering too. Good. Well, that makes me happy to know that people were wondering about that. So I will start working on the second install of that and try to get it out there to you. Thanks for the interest. And Jerry Voitush asked me about that at the cigar shop while I was trying to steal his lighter. And that was it for the questions that I can find. Yes. There's the few $1,000,000 in my bank account. Dreaming again. Okay, guys. Listen. So much for an hour, but I'm going to try to keep it shorter on Saturdays. I hope Ellen is feeling better. I imagine if she was watching, she would have made her presence known in the chat, so I'm sure she's resting. I'm sure she knows that I haven't talked to her yet. We just texted a couple times, just keeping me up to date that she's not, it's nothing serious. We all worry about her. She's, become a part of our family. And this is a family. This is a family. There's somebody I didn't say hi to. I didn't notice it before. Jack, JAK51. Yes, love my air fryer too. Cool. Here's another one that Switch Gaming. I hadn't seen you before either. I understand YouTube is hard. Yes, it is. It's very challenging. Unless there's something you got that people just have to see. Usually that's something that's more on the strange side. And here he goes. Carnivore visit, start a farm. Yeah, that was probably, Rich, that's probably the only real viable answer to that question. But it would take more than a couple $1,000,000. Ask Ken Berry what it costs on his little farm up there in Tennessee to try to run an operation to make a profit, let alone basically just run one so you can feed your family. It's a whole different world. Sherry asked me another question here right at the very end. Are you planning on making any morning lives maybe once a week later for us West Coast people? Thank you. What time would you like them, Sherry? If I did it at, say, 10 o'clock, that'd be 7 a.m. for you. Would that be okay? Because, yeah, I had talked about doing one a week a little bit later for a couple of reasons. And one of the prime reasons is that it allows me to go to Sam's Club at 8 o'clock and shop for the markdown meat, where if I have to start the live stream at 8:30 every day, I never get a chance to do that. So, yeah, if you can't let me know right here and now, just let me know. Send me an email. But, yeah, I'll do it. And if there's any day of the week that's better for you, where I can do my Sam shopping, it would have to be like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday are the best days to do that. Sherry, you're talking about they use tallow. Okay, that's not an answer to that question. But let me know, Sherry. And if Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday might not be a better day for you to do that, and yeah, I'll do that. I'd like to settle into a more of a set routine so everybody knows what to expect. But yes, one morning a week. And Jack 51, yes, 10 or 11, please. Yeah, 10 o'clock would work fine. So we'll come up with a day for that. I'm just glad that people like that morning live stream because it's replaced my the only thing it hasn't replaced as the most fun thing I do, which is the private community little free-for-all that we have. But I certainly enjoy doing those live streams, getting out there in the morning where it's the weather's nice, and I can puff on a cigar and drink coffee and get some sun on me and talk to people. I mean, that's you can tell how it makes me feel. It calms me down. It just makes me feel glad to be alive. And believe me, I would much rather live that way than be aggravated like I was when I started this live stream. I would much rather always be happy and content. I strive for that. It's not easy in this world, but I strive for it. Badzad. Question, I've not seen this in the market. I was thinking maybe there's a way to make a fully organic, chemical, and preservative-free hot dog with organs, collagen, connective. There might be. I'm sure there's a way to make something like that. The problem is it would have to be handled almost like or frozen, traditional or refrigerated, and it would certainly have to be handled like fresh meat, and it would have to have definitely a best sold by date on it, and it would probably be a little bit more money. And whether there'd be a big market for it or not, I don't think so. People aren't out looking for organ meat with collagen and connective tissue. They don't want to see on the label of their hot dogs big words that says organ meat and connective tissue, absolutely no plant material, 100% animal byproducts. Nobody would buy that. That's why they put, even on farm-raised eggs, they put vegetarian fed on the label, just because people won't buy the eggs unless if they think that chicken ate any part of an animal or a worm or a grub. They're living in a propaganda world, these people. So marketing, the difficulty in marketing that product is where I think the obstacle would be to its success, because you'd have to do a reverse propaganda thing. You'd have to come up with a 100% pure animal product hot dog and label it 100% vegetarian before anybody'd buy it in this friggin' upside down bizarro world that we live in. It's a great idea. I'd love to be able to buy them. I'd eat the hell out of them. Are you kidding me? That would be superfood. That would be superfood. We're not going to get the big food companies to make it for us. We're not a big enough market for them to look sideways at us. Maybe one day there will be, but anybody that goes into the business of making foods, other than the huge companies that make these things and throw keto on the label, they can't make a lot of money. They just come and go. The market. You always have to, make sure you got a market for any product, no matter how good it is. People don't think it's good. There's no demand for it. Not going to work, unfortunately. That's a good question, though. Thanks for that. And I'm down at the bottom of the chat. I see Spanky and Papa Carnivore. I see CB Carnex. How you doing, CB? Good to see you, man. We're about to wind it up here. Cindy Braddock says, the butcher on our grocery that isn't Walmart knows me. They won't let. Yeah, I wish I could find. I wish I had a great butcher shop. And Peter, I've never seen anybody get so excited about curry, man. Must have been some adventure for you. Lisa Russell, howdy to you too. Everybody watched that interview. with Curry today. It was very inspiring. Yeah, just looking at Peter's before and after pictures are inspiring. Good job, man. I guess I have to watch it. Of course I'm going to watch it. I haven't had much time today to watch any YouTube. It just came out today, huh? Okay, I'll look for it. I'll look for it. And my friends, I think that's going to about wrap it up for today. We managed to go almost an hour and a half. Not bad. Not bad for somebody who didn't have his sidekick. Had nothing much to really say other than being pissed off at YouTube. So what's new? We got through it. We got through it. I got that out of my system. Always feels good. I don't like to hold shit in. I like to just, if it's on my mind, out it comes. I'm hoping that people appreciate that quality of no bullshit. And we made it, hour and a half, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. And I'm going to look forward to tomorrow morning. And I thought maybe Sunday would be a good day to start at 10, but I don't want to. I'm going to do it at 8:30 because there may be some things I want to do tomorrow. And I don't want to have my entire morning taken up by doing a live stream because I can't go shopping and buy the stuff I want to buy. So it's going to be either like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And I'll pick a day this week, and we'll do the live stream at 10 in the morning. And I have plenty of time to go to Sam's Club, buy what I need to buy, come home, put it all away, set up the studio, and do all that stuff outside, and get ready to push the button by 10 o'clock. It'll work just fine. So, my friends, let me get you some traveling music here. And thank everybody for coming. Good to see you here on a Saturday afternoon when you could have been out spending money and shopping and doing all kinds of other things, and you chose to spend it here with me bitching my brains out. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I'm going to take the rest of the day off. I imagine the rest of you might. I don't know what's going on out there in the world on a Saturday. I don't even want to know. I'm just going to relax. It has been a stressful week with the election and all of the bullshit that's still flying. It's taken its toll on a lot of us. It's given a lot of us encouragement. It's caused others to lose their minds completely. It's hard to believe that we're all human beings, we're all Americans, and we could be so different. Isn't it? Hard to believe, but it's true. No shortage of evidence. So take the rest of the day off. I will see you tomorrow morning, 8:30, coffee cup and cigar in hand. And until then, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.